True, false, not given is the question type that makes IELTS students second guess the most. You read the same line 3 times and you still don't know whether it's false or not given. That confusion kills your time and score. Today I'll show you how to exactly solve true, false and not given using the exact same method that I used to get a 7.5 in my very first attempt, and that being skimming and input decoding. And once you learn this, you will stop guessing and start solving with confidence. Let's jump into a real example and I'll walk you through my process step by step in real time. You'll see exactly how I skim, decode the input and lock in the correct answer. Alright, you wanna see the questions. Giorgio Okafe's style was greatly influenced by the changing fashions in art over the 7 decades. Okay, Giorgio Okafe and then changing fashion in arts over 7 decades. Okay, for 7 decades, easy. For 7 decades, Giorgio Okafe was a major figure in American art. Remarkably, she remained independent from shifting art trends. Okay, the question here is, style was greatly influenced by the changing fashion in art over the 7 decades of her career, right? Remarkably, she remained independent from shifting art trends and her work stayed true to her own vision. Basically, she did not change. With the waves of trends, she remained herself. So, if you say greatly influenced, that means she changed. She did not, so that would be false. Next one. When Okafe finished high school, she had already made her mind about the career that she wanted. Okay, so the keyword will be high school clearly, and she's making up her mind career. Okay, this is not a very good website. The navigation, I don't quite like it. But this is the real test. Cambridge, I wanna say high school. By the time she graduated from high school in 1905, she had determined to make her way as an artist. So she already knew she is gonna be an artist by the time she graduated high school. So that would be true. So Alfred Stieglitz, hope I didn't butcher his name, first discovered Okafe's work when she sent some abstract drawings to his gallery in New York City. Keywords: Alfred discovered work and then gallery in New York City. Alfred, January. Okay, she sent some of these drawings to a friend in New York who showed them to art collector and photographer Alfred S. in January. Okay, so it says Alfred S. first discovered Okafe's work when she sent some abstract. She sent the drawings to his New York gallery, but she did not send it. Okafe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, sent some of the drawings to her friend who showed them to that art collector, this guy. So that would be false. Next one. Okafe was the subject to stylist photographic work for many years. She was subject to photograph. So basically this guy arted or made photographs of Okafe. Let's see. So keyword would be Okafe's photographic work for many years and then stylist photograph. With stylist encouragement and promise in financial support, arrived in New York for the 3 decades, vigorously promoted her work in 22 solo exhibitions and numerous group installations. The two were married. Personal and professional relationship were recorded in strictly celebrated black and white portraits of Okafe taken over the course of 20 years. So these two were married and then she celebrated their relationship with a lot of portrait of Okafe. So basically Okafe was subject to his portraits, artworks too. Okafe's paintings of the patio of her house in Ebonic were among the artist's favorite work. Okay, so keyword patio of her house in Ebonic is also a good one. Patio, Ebonic house. The large walled patio with black door was particularly inspirational. Okay, let's dive more deeper into it. Okafe eventually owned 2 homes. First, her summer retreat, blah blah blah, used as winter residence, was a small town of Abbey Kiwi. Guys, do not try to pronounce this, just whatever. It doesn't really matter. While both locales provided a wealth of imagery for her paintings, one feature of Ebonic's house, the large walled patio with black door, was particularly inspirational. Artist's favorite works. In more than 30 pictures between 1946 to 1960, she reinvented the patio into an abstract arrangement of geometric shape. This is kind of interesting because it's kind of very true, but also it does not say that the artist, it was her favorite work. Right? It doesn't say. You can read the whole paragraph again if you're confused. Is inspirational the same as favorite? No. Well, it's the author's opinion again, like inspirational, and she made 30 of it, but I would say not given. Okafe produced a great quantity of work during 1950s to 1970s than at any time of her life. Okay, I'm gonna look for 1950s to 1970s. From 1950s to 1970s, Okafe traveled widely. Okay, she traveled, make trip to Asia, Middle East, Europe. Did she make a lot of work than any other time in her life? Above clouds, Okafe increased the size of her canvases, so she made big photos. Last 2 decades, okay, so the last 2 decades of her artist life were relatively unproductive. So these are kind of like mixed, with the half of the last 2 decades is here. So she was not very productive, basically. But you can't really say that because the last 2 decades is not 1950 to 1970, it's somewhere in the middle. So I would say not given. It does not say anything that she was productive or unproductive. All right, I think that should be it. Let's see. Oh, good. So these 2 are not given. So you want to look through all the answers, especially the incorrect ones and the ones that are not given. Pay more attention to those kind of to answer not given, and then the ones that you get incorrect, because through feedback you will improve. There's a passage says that Patty was important for Okafe and she printed it many times. However, it does not say she liked the paintings the most, you see. So the key here for true, false, and NG is to not infer anything from your mind. If it is explicitly given in the text, then it is true. If it is contradictory, then it is false. And if it is not clearly given, then it is not given. Okay, there's an option called not given. So here's the key. Don't read the passage like a story. Skim to locate, decode the input, and then decide. That's how you beat TFNG every single time. Now, if you are ready to master the hardest type of question in IELTS, watch this video next. And remember, if you believe you can, you will solve it easily. I'll see you soon.